and welcome to my dollhouse. I'm Osakachan.doll, and I'm super excited and thrilled you're here today. Before we jump into the video, it would mean a lot if you could hit the like button and subscribe. Your support goes a long way in helping me to continue to create quality content. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you're always up to date with my latest uploads. And if you're into cool merch, check out Osaka Doll merch for some stylish gear and fun accessories. Links in the description below. Thanks so much for being here, and let's get started. Today I will be telling you a short story that I made up that I call Trapped in Glass and Porcelain. With that being said, let us begin. Chapter 1. Queens of a Twisted University. Amy, Martha, and Debbie weren't just the wealthiest students at Willowton University, they were its rulers. With their parents as major donors to the school, the trio walked through the picturesque campus as if it were their personal kingdom. They wielded their influence like a blade, carving fear and obedience into the hearts of everyone they deemed beneath them. The university itself was nestled in a tranquil town, surrounded by towering pines and mist-covered hills. Its small, close-knit community exuded charm, but for those who crossed Amy, Martha, and Debbie, it became a prison. Whispers of their cruelty echoed in the halls like ghostly warnings, but no one dared challenge them. Amy, the ringleader, was as sharp as she was venomous. Her ability to uncover and exploit her target's deepest insecurities was unparalleled. Martha, the quiet conspirator, was the shadow behind every rumor, her subtle manipulations igniting social infernos. And then there was Debbie, loud and aggressive, who took sadistic glee in public humiliation. Together, they turned Willowton into a hunting ground, preying on anyone who didn't bow to their twisted authority. Chapter 2. The Campus Reign of Terror. The trio had left a trail of broken lives in their wake. There was Sarah, a timid art student whose dreams of becoming a professional illustrator were crushed under Amy's calculated cruelty. When Sarah's work began gaining recognition, Amy claimed she had plagiarized it, planting fake evidence and feeding the lie to Martha, who whispered it to faculty members. By the time the truth surfaced, it was too late. Sarah's scholarship was revoked and she vanished from campus, her spirit shattered. Jason, a star athlete with the courage to stand up to them, suffered even worse. Debbie slipped incriminating notes into his desk during an exam, and when the accusations of cheating surfaced, his protest fell on deaf ears. His reputation in ruins, Jason transferred to another university, leaving Willowton under a cloud of disgrace. They didn't just target outcasts, they targeted anyone. The bright, the kind, the different. No one was safe. And with each ruined life, they laughed, feeding on the drama like predators savoring a fresh kill. This semester, their sights fell on Saka, the newest arrival. Chapter 3. The Newest Arrival. From the moment Saka set foot on campus, she intrigued and unsettled everyone who saw her. She was strikingly beautiful, but in a way that sent shivers down your spine. Her jet black hair seemed to move like it was alive, and her mismatched eyes, one neon purple, the other neon blue, glowed faintly, even in the dimmest light. She dressed in gothic black, always walking alone, her expression calm and unreadable. "She's perfect," Amy had declared when she first saw Saka. "We're going to tear her apart. She looks like she crawled out of a Tim Burton movie." Debbie snickered as Saka walked past their table in the cafeteria. "More like some freaky anime villain," Amy added, smirking as she crumpled a napkin and tossed it at Saka. It landed just shy of her feet. Without breaking stride, Saka paused, her glowing eyes fixing on the trio with unsettling precision. Calmly, she bent down, picked up the napkin, and walked to the trash. "You shouldn't do this," she said softly, her voice unnervingly composed. bad things happen to bad people. The trio froze for a moment, the weight of her words hanging in the air like a dark fog. Then Amy burst out laughing. Is that supposed to scare us? She sneered. She's hiding something, Martha whispered later. Let's find out what. Debbie smirks, her eyes glinting with malicious delight. Chapter 4. The Bullying. They started small, testing Sokka's limits. They made cruel comments as she walked by, muttering loudly enough for her to hear. Nice contacts, freak, Amy sneered, pointing at Sokka's glowing eyes. Debbie escalated it during a lecture, accidentally spilling coffee all over Sokka's notebook. As Sokka calmly cleaned it up, without a word, Amy rolled her eyes. Too good to get mad, huh? But the pranks turned darker. They filled her locker with rotting food. They stole her books. They posted a photo of her online with the caption, Campus Creeper. Sokka's response never changed. She didn't react, didn't flinch. She only repeated her warning, her soft voice carrying an unspoken menace. You should stop. Bad things happen to bad people. The trio laughed each time, mocking her words, but beneath their bravado, a seed of unease had taken root. Chapter 5. The Break-In. That unease wasn't enough to stop them. Fueled by alcohol and cruelty, Amy decided to escalate things further. Let's see what little Miss Freak is hiding, she said that October night, leading the others to Sokka's apartment on the edge of campus. The building was old and shrouded in shadows, its windows dark and lifeless. As they climbed through an unlocked window, a cold, heavy air enveloped them. Why does it smell like a funeral in here? Debbie whispered, rubbing her arms. Sokka's apartment was immaculate, yet unnerving. Shelves lined the walls, filled with strange trinkets, candles, dried flowers, and porcelain dolls that seemed too lifelike. Their painted eyes followed the girls as they moved through the room. This chick is a psycho, Martha muttered, running her fingers over one of the dolls. Look at that, Amy said, pointing to a massive dollhouse in the corner. It was an exact replica of the apartment, down to the smallest detail. Tiny furniture, miniature trinkets, and even porcelain dolls that mirrored those on the shelves. This is freaky, Debbie said, taking a step back. No, Amy said, her wicked grin spreading. This is art. She reached out to touch the dollhouse. Don't, Martha said, her voice uneasy. But Amy ignored her, her fingers grazing the tiny structure. The air shifted violently. Shadows surged like living things, the walls stretching and folding. A low, otherworldly hum filled the room, growing louder and louder until there was darkness. When the chaos subsided, the girls found themselves inside a grotesque version of Sokka's apartment. Everything loomed around them, oversized and distorted. Chapter 6. The Dollhouse. What is this? Martha whispered, her voice trembling. It's the dollhouse, Debbie choked out. We're inside the dollhouse. Amy caught her reflection in a shard of glass. Her skin was no longer skin. It was smooth, cold porcelain. Her joints were segmented, and her painted eyes stared back at her, frozen in a lifeless expression. No, Amy screamed, clawing at her face, but the painted smile didn't budge. We're dolls, Martha whispered, her porcelain hands trembling. We're dolls. A melodic hum echoed through the air, and Sokka appeared, towering above them like a goddess of vengeance. Her glowing eyes burned brighter than ever, casting eerie shadows across the room. I warned you, she said softly. Turn us back, Amy screamed. You can't do this. Can't I? Sokka replied, tilting her head. You've spent your lives making others feel powerless. Now, you'll see what it's like to be hollow, lifeless and trapped. Martha, fell to her knees, sobbing. Please, we want to go home. Who are you? Sokka crouched, her glowing eyes level with theirs. You want to know who I am? Let me tell you a story. Chapter 6, The Horror Story. Sokka's voice was soft but commanding as she spoke. Once there were 3 girls. They were clever, beautiful, and cruel. They thought their power made them untouchable. One day they met someone different, quiet, strange, kind. They mistook her kindness for weakness and tormented her relentlessly. But this girl wasn't weak. She had power too. She gave them chances to stop, to change. But they didn't listen. So, she taught them a lesson they would never forget. She turned them into what they had always been on the inside, hollow, lifeless, and incapable of change. Sokka leaned closer, her mismatched eyes gleaming. Does that story sound familiar? The dolls sat in stunned silence. Chapter 8, Eternal Display. Watching the new dolls, Sokka smirked, her black hair cascading like a waterfall. I tried to warn you, but you didn't listen. Now, you'll be part of my collection. Forever. Sokka crouched, her glowing eyes piercing their porcelain forms. You were right, by the way, Martha. My name isn't Sokka. I am Osakachan.doll, she said, her voice calm but unyielding. And you, all of you, are home now and forever. One by one, Osakachan.doll placed them on her dollhouse furniture, arranging them carefully among her collection. Don't worry, she whispered as she adjusted Amy's rigid arms. You'll never grow old, never break, unless I decide it's time for a change. She stepped back, her glowing eyes dimming as the room returned to its eerie silence. Bad things happen to bad people, she said, her voice lingering like a curse, and with that, she turned and disappeared into the shadows, leaving Amy, Martha, and Debbie staring out helplessly from their porcelain prison. The dollhouse door clicked shut, sealing them in forever. Their painted eyes reflected the flickering candlelight, a warning to all who dared cross the wrong person. The end.
We were queens, ruling with fire, living on cruelty, stoking desire. But now we're trapped in fragile frames, no voices to scream, no faces to blame. Down so slow, shadows deep, eternal watchers, no reprieve. Our sins reflected, cold and clear, in porcelain smiles that hold our tears. Forever bound in Osaka's halls, lost in her cursed eternal walls. Painted faces, hollow cries, trapped in the house where no one dies. Evil deeds we can't erase, frozen dolls in endless space. We mocked her warnings, played our games, but now her vengeance calls our names. The dollhouse grows with every sin, a shrine to cruelty we live within. Time stands still, yet shadows move, each moment a mirror of what we lose. Our hands can't reach, our feet can't run, trapped forever, what have we done? Forever bound in Osaka's halls, lost in her cursed eternal walls. Painted faces, hollow cries, trapped in the house where no one dies. Evil deeds we can't erase, frozen dolls in endless space. We mocked her warnings, played our games, but now her vengeance calls our names. The dollhouse grows with every sin, a shrine to cruelty we lived within. Time stands still, yet shadows move, each moment a mirror of what we lose. Our hands can't reach, our feet can't run, trapped forever, what have we done? Forever bound in Osaka's halls, lost in her cursed eternal walls. Painted faces, hollow cries, trapped in the house where no one dies. Evil deeds we can't erase, foes and dolls in endless space. Glassy eyes, reflecting regret. Memories haunt, we can't forget. Every lie, every broken soul caused the cracks in our porcelain hole. Bad things happen to bad people, she said. Now we're the broken, the cursed, the dead. Yet still we sit on her display, a warning to others who lose their way. Forever bound in Osaka's halls, lost in her cursed eternal walls. Painted faces, hollow cries, trapped in the house where no one dies. Evil deeds we can't erase, foes and dolls in endless space. The light flickers, shadows dance, a porcelain prison, a haunting trance. Eternal watchers of what we've done, a tale of vengeance that's just begun. Forever dolls, forever pain, forever trapped by what remains. Osakachan.doll, she holds the key, and we're her captives eternally.
Thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you found it engaging and insightful. If you enjoyed the content, please consider showing your support by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. Your feedback is what keeps me motivated to keep creating valuable content for you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. I'm Osaka, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Until then, take care. Thank you so much. I truly love your support, and I'll see you next time.